morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. I think it's a good day across the board because we're back with another very special session here with the Options Play team. Stock charts and options play together. What a thrill. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Grayson Roze. I'm the Director of Operations here at StockCharts.com, and I am joined by my very good friend, Tony Zhang, Chief Strategist at OptionsPlay. Tony, we're back in the saddle for another event. This is exciting. We had such a warm reception of the last one. First and foremost, though, how are you doing? How's your day going?
Thank you so much, Grayson. I'm doing fantastic and absolutely right. This partnership that we kicked off under 2 months ago has been really amazing to see kind of the fruits of that labor. We've gotten some fantastic feedback from customers on it. So really glad to be back here showing everyone kind of the value of what we've put together, what you can get out of it, and how you can access it during today's session.
Yeah. And we might have some people in the room with us today that joined us for the last session, want to sort of see this thing in action one more time. What's a little bit different this time is we're just doing this with StockCharts users, with all you guys who are familiar with the StockCharts platform and sort of coming to us from that side. So we're going to stay focused on kind of the StockCharts side a little bit. But we got some fantastic things to show. I'm really excited to dive back into the strategy center. Talk to you guys, like Tony said, about the value that this can bring to your approach. As you are going to see, I think it is just absolutely clear when you see this thing in action. This is a huge time saver, whether you are brand new to options or whether you've been trading with options as part of your strategy for a long time. The tools that we have built are incredibly unique here. And as you're going to see, it's a massive time saver. This is really a huge efficiency play for you in your trading. Instead of sorting through so many options and trying to filter through those options chains and figure out what's going to fit for your strategy, the tools that you are going to see in action today really streamline that whole process. So as we go through, I want you guys to be thinking about that. Keep that in the back of your brain. Is this going to streamline my process? I think the answer, as you're going to see, is clearly a yes. So, Tony, do you want to grab the screen and we'll kick it off here? We'll get this thing rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. And Grayson, as you said, the reason that we put this together really is because of the fact that I've been a longtime StockCharts.com user, and I've gotten a lot of value out of this platform because I really think of StockCharts.com as the best technical analysis tool out there for serious traders, and I use it every single day for my trading, and it's really amazing what we've been able to put together here together, where we are able to show you the best of the stock chart screening capabilities and technical analysis tools merged with our state-of-the-art options tools that are designed to help you find the best opportunities in the market, save you as much time as possible from your trading, and to be able to show you how you can find the best ideas really for options trading and save you hours and hours of research in your process. So that's what I'm going to show you here today. So what this, at the center of all of this is going to be what we call the strategy center. This is really what we've merged the screening capabilities with StockCharts.com with the options strategies capabilities that we have here at OptionsPlay to combine together to give you one experience that's going to help you find the best possible trade ideas. So within StockCharts.com, you'll see the OptionsPlay Strategy Center front and center on your dashboard, or if you simply go to Charts and Tools, you'll see the OptionsPlay Strategy Center under Research Tools. This is going to be the core of what you're going to be able to have access to and want to use on a daily basis to find the best options ideas for your portfolio. So if you click on the OptionsPlay Strategy Center, what you're going to be presented with are a list of different technical scans. Now, right now, as you can see, there are only 4 out of the 6 scans where we were able to find valid scans for today. So not every single day are you going to find scans for every single scan. And this is partially because we're doing a lot of the work on filtering from an options liquidity perspective. I don't know how many of you have ran scans that are trading options, but a lot of times when you run a scan, you might get a lot of symbols that are not necessarily suitable for trading options. And that's really kind of the core of what we do here, is making sure that any technical scan that you're seeing from our tools are only going to be ones that are suitable for trading options from a liquidity perspective. So that's one of the first things that we scan for. We want to make sure that when we present ideas to you from a technical perspective, before you even start structuring an options trade on it, you know that that stock is a trade that is liquid and that you'll be able to execute an option strategy on. So we have trend following, counter trend, and what we call outperformance trades. Outperformance are really stocks that are either outperforming or underperforming the overall market. A trend following and or counter trend, I think, are fairly intuitive for a lot of users as far as what those are. And the idea is to be able to help you structure options trades on a list of securities as quickly as possible, and more importantly, save you as much time as possible. So let's say if let's say look at a list of like stocks that are outperforming today. So you have 5 stocks that are outperforming the market here today. And what we want to be able to show you is how you can quickly structure an options trade on these 5 stocks, and more importantly, rank these 5 stocks based on what has the best option strategy for it. And you can customize the strategies as well. So for example, if let's say you have a list of bullish stocks, and maybe in this particular case, you want to either buy call options or sell a credit spread or buy a debit spread, whatever strategy you prefer, we help you basically customize that strategy based on your personalized preferences and rank them for you so that the top ranking ones are at the top of the list. This way, if you have 5 bullish stocks that are sort of equal to you from a technical perspective, what we help you do is understand which one has the best option strategies to trade on them so that you only focus on the ones where the option strategies align with your preferences for trading options. So for example, if you prefer buying call options on bullish stocks, this will tell you that Amazon has the cheapest call options to purchase here today. Now, depending on how much you have to risk, you will see that there are more opportunities. As you can see, call options on some of these stocks are really expensive, like Amazon and Costco. So what it does is basically presents to you strategies based on your personalized preferences for how far out you like to go for your call options. Maybe you like to buy shorter dated options. Maybe you like to get more aggressive. But whatever your preferences are, it basically re-ranks all of the options strategies for you based on your personalized strategies. So now, if you like to buy shorter dated out of the money call options, Sony now has the cheapest call options to purchase. So this basically helps you understand what strategies you can trade for any list of securities so that you don't have to look at a list of 5 different stocks, pull up an options chain for those 5 stocks one by one to figure out, okay, what does the 14-day out of the money call option look like? What are they priced at? And have to go through that 5 times manually just to see which one is best suited for you. And with the list of 5 stocks, that's somewhat manageable. What if you have a list of 30 stocks? You really can't do that manually. This can actually do that process for you, even if you have 30 stocks and rank all 30 stocks for you. So it's a huge time saver in terms of your ability to access this tool and be able to find the right option strategies to trade. So no matter what strategies you're looking at, so if let's say we want to look at some bearish trades, as you can see today, we've got a lot of bearish opportunities here. These are all stocks that are underperforming the markets. Let's say I want to buy a debit spread on a bearish opportunity, and let's say I like to go out roughly 30 days. I like to be a little bit more balanced, and I have $2,500 to risk. Well, now what I can do is I can basically re-rank this entire list based on 30-day balanced debit spreads that are risking no more than $2,500. And now I see Southern Co. has the cheapest debit spreads to purchase. Now, in this particular case, I've gone through, nearly in this particular case, 40, 50 stocks. Actually, let's see, 41 different stocks. And I'm telling you which debit spreads are cheapest to buy. Now, there's no way manually you'd be able to go through 41 different stocks to figure out which debit spreads are cheapest to purchase. This does it for you in under 2 seconds. And, we all have different preferences for how we like to buy debit spreads. Some people like to go a little further out. Maybe you like to go 30 days out or 60 days out. You can preference you can change your preferences and see, okay, now if I go 60 days out, as you can see, CSX now has some of the cheapest put options to purchase. Southern Co is still up there. So this allows me to quickly see, okay, out of all of these stocks that are underperforming the market, these are stocks that I might want to take a bearish opportunity on. How do I quickly structure an options trade on it, regardless of what strategies I prefer, whether I just like to outright buy a put option or if I want to do a debit spread? It helps me quickly understand which stocks have the cheapest put options to purchase, what call options are most expensive to sell, so I can collect the most premium. So regardless what your option strategies you prefer, it ranks it for you so that you don't have to do any of this manual work and you get the results in under 2 seconds, the top performing results, so that you know that when you execute a trade, not only does the stock align with your bearish view, right? So if I now click on Fiserv, I can take a quickly look at the chart here in SharpCharts and see that, this is a stock that is clearly outperforming the market, but has recently started to break below that trend line. And maybe your expectation that this is going to continue. So not only does it scan it from a technical perspective, it does it for stocks that are very liquid, and then tells you which put options are cheapest to purchase. So as you can see, I can buy the stock's trading at 202. I can buy the 210 puts for $11.80. And look at the break-even price. Only a 2% move in order for the stock to break even. Most put options that you purchase to break even require the stock to move 4 or 5% before it breaks even. Now this only has to move 2% lower and you're profitable on the trade. It's very rare to find trades like that, and it takes a lot of time to be able to go through one by one, going through all of these different securities to find out where put options are cheapest. And that's really kind of what we're doing the work for you, is to quickly help you identify where you can find opportunities to trade opportunities where the technical analysis aligns with your views in the markets, and then helps you structure the right options trade, or rather the best options trade on the different stocks that you have in your portfolio or the stocks that you're interested in trading. So this is merging kind of, in my opinion, the best of the scanning capabilities that stock charts have to help you find technical trades right at when they're happening, and more importantly, helping you structure any options trade that you prefer on that list of securities and help you rank them. Because a list of 40 stocks, it's just, it's hard to go through a list of 40 stocks to figure out which one you want to trade from an options perspective. This helps you identify the best ones.
Yeah, Tony, I'm sure that there are people who are watching this on the webinar here who are familiar with those scanning tools. Hopefully running their own scans maybe on a daily basis to find new opportunities. And it certainly goes through my head. If you are familiar with the StockCharts scanning tools, you know the strength of it, you know the power. But when you think about kind of that process of running a scan, getting that list back, saving it to your own account, and then having to go, like Tony's saying, systematically one by one through those options that have come back from a scan and do your own research to structure some of these options trades. It is a big, big time consuming, to be honest, a bit of a bear of of a work process. And when you think about, as Tony's saying, if you're getting back 10, 15, 20, 30 results, to actually go through and research each of those individually, poring over all of this data yourself, it's just too much work. You just really, really can't do it. And it makes it kind of this, this wall for a lot of people, I would say, that they can't cross. It's kind of the part of the reason that options kind of scare people off. So these tools, when I see this, the ability to run these scans, directionally figure out how you want to trade things, and then get all of this data and these options, these opportunities, presented there right to you. Really, really something special. And I'm going to keep saying it throughout this webinar. What I keep coming back to is the time-saving nature of this and how quickly it can be, how quickly it can present options to you. So really, really, really powerful stuff here. Some great built-in scans too. I mean, these are straight out of your process as well. I mean, I love that you're highlighting in particular the relative strength scans there, the bearish underperformance and the bullish outperformance. Straight out of your own process. These are the kind of tools and things that you're using in your own approach, right, Tony?
Yeah, that's exactly right. These are the scans that we have built ourselves here at OptionsPlay. These are the scans that I've been running for years at StockCharts.com. I use, and I use Chartlist at StockCharts.com predominantly for my screening capabilities. I scroll through my chart list the way other people scroll through Instagram every single day. I do it religiously because it helps me stay on top of what's moving in the markets. So I built these scans and now I've shared these scans with you here at StockCharts.com. These are OptionsPlay built scans. These are scans that I've been running for years that you now have access to. These trend following scans, counter trend scans, and the outperformance scans. And Grayson, I actually got the inspiration of these outperformance and underperformance scans from some of the pre-built scans that you built into
Yeah.
StockCharts.com. So we've kind of took those, customized those a little bit, and now you have access to them here through the strategy center that kind of combines the best of stock charts technical screening capabilities with our options strategy capabilities. And Grayson, this service is priced at just $40 a month. And I just want to kind of iterate kind of how you can find enough value from our tools in just a single trade to help potentially purchase, your even annual subscription to the tool, because you can use these tools to find income generating strategies that either don't add additional risk to your portfolio, or income generating strategies where you have limited amounts of risk. And those are strategies such as cover calls. So for example, if you go to a 45-day, even a balanced cover call, meaning even if we're not looking for a very aggressive cover call, as you can see, the amount of premium that you're collecting, $350, $300, $185, $655, $650. So if you own any of these stocks in your portfolio, here's showing you how you can generate, upwards of 12, 15, 17% return on your assets that you own in your portfolio on an annual basis, and being able to do that throughout the year in order to generate the income on your portfolio. But as you can see, just in 45 days, you're generating enough yield to pay for nearly an annual subscription here for this tool. And this is really designed to help you be able to do that in a single month, generate enough revenue to potentially pay for the service for a full year. And these are the income generating strategies that if you look at professional options traders, this is what they predominantly trade in their portfolios. You look at professionals, probably 70 to 80% of their trades are option selling strategies, whether they're selling cover calls, cash secured puts, straddles, strangles, credit spreads, iron condors. These are the types of strategies that our tools can help you find. So for example, because these are bearish trades, maybe let's look at a bearish credit spread and look at the amount of premium that you're collecting on some of these. Usually on credit spreads, I like to go a little bit more aggressive. And as you can see, a lot of these you're collecting, $247, $810, $600, $570, $1,100 that you're collecting in premium in just 45 days. And these are all limited risk strategies. So this allows you to quickly understand how much you can potentially collect versus how much you're risking in this column here, max risk versus max reward. You can see what's your max risk, what's your max reward, and see how much premium you can collect, because these are the types of systematic strategies that professional traders rely on to generate consistent income in your portfolio. And we want to show you how you can offset the cost of this tool, which is just $40 a month, many times in just your first month of using this tool, being able to pay for virtually a 1-year subscription for this tool. And this is really, some of the things that we use and we highlight every single week. For those of you that are looking for how to utilize this tool, we actually publish at least once a week some of the trades that we find from the strategy center. And I also highlight some of the best trade ideas that I have in the week. That's all available to you during in the Stock Charts Options Play blog. We'll post the link here on your screen in the chat window if you want to subscribe to that. So at the very least, if you're thinking about subscribing to this and you want to see how we use it in action, I present to you ideas every single week. So I just found a Tractor Supply trade here yesterday using this tool. Last week, I found one on NVIDIA. The week before, I found one on CrowdStrike. So I publish these articles every single week where I show you how I found trade ideas from a technical perspective, from a options trading perspective, using this tool so that you can follow along and see how I'm able to generate a premium, how I'm able to generate income from these types of tools to pay for the cost of this service.
Yeah, I think it's one thing to have a tool in front of you that you can use, and it's great to see the value of it and things like that. But it's another entirely to have a guide, kind of your own personal guide on top of that tool, to really show you how it's being applied through all market conditions. I mean, Tony, we're excited to to have your content, your commentary, your ideas, your insights on the platform. And so if you are an options play user, if you're using the strategy center, if you're putting these tools to work in your own portfolio, you're also going to have Tony there with you, kind of guiding you through, showing you trade ideas, showing you how he's using the strategy center, all of that. That to me really takes this thing to the next level. It makes it more of a community. Having this kind of expert sitting there, with you, showing you how to use the tool, really makes it something special. That's kind of just the tip of the iceberg, though, because we've got the strategy center, we've got your insights through the blog, and we've also got some of the other widgets that we're going to explore here as part of the webinar as well. So the tool itself is incredibly robust, and it really is kind of a combination of a number of these different pieces. Before we jump over to that, I want to come back to this idea too of the efficiency, the time, and things like that. I think what Tony's highlighting here with how you can use this tool to kind of pay for itself, that to me is so clear. But the other side of it too is to think about the value of your time, right? If this is saving you countless hours, if this is making options trades, more discoverable for you, and it's saving you that time, your time has value. My time has value. Tony's time has value. And so by, streamlining your process, you're also adding value kind of back into your, total investing system here. So I think there's the value in the time that it's going to save you. And there's the value in the fact that it's a tool that really can pay for itself if you're using it properly. And to have Tony there kind of, as I said, guiding you through, showing you how he's using these kind of tools on a daily basis from week to week. I think that is just fantastic. So, Tony, any other thoughts on the strategy center, or do we jump over to the widgets, the integrations there with SharpCharts and ACP? How you feeling?
I think this is a great time for us to kind of jump into that SharpCharts and ACP and show you kind of some of the additional tools that you do have at
Yeah.
your fingertips to be able to um, analyze some of these trades that the strategy center spits out. So, for example, if we're looking at this bear call spread here on ExxonMobil here, what first of all, obviously, whenever you're looking at a trade idea, you probably want to pop over to the chart and quickly just get a sense for what's going on here. So, as you can see, what we're looking for in this underperformance scan are stocks that are underperforming the market. That's exactly what we're seeing here as ExxonMobil, as you can see, starting to break below some support levels. And alongside with that break of support, it's also underperforming the S&P 500. These are the things that you typically want to see if you're thinking of a bearish trade or a bullish trade of the opposite. You want a stock that's outperforming the market. On the bearish trade, you want to see stocks that are underperforming the market. So you have negative momentum, you're underperforming the S&P 500, and you just broke below a support level here. So it kind of aligns with everything that I'm looking at to potentially sell a credit spread. So this is really where we also have built some tools here to help you identify other trading strategies if you are viewing a trade here in SharpCharts. So, I've always been, I always prefer using SharpCharts. I've just been using it for nearly 16, 17 years now.
Yeah.
So the fact that now I can have an options play tool directly integrated the chart helps me make sure that I'm selecting the right strike prices for my strategies. So before I was looking at selling a credit spread here, right? So we just broke below 114. So if I go to high implied volatility strategies, what the options play widget does is it helps me structure optimal trades based on a specific outlook that I have on the stock. So, for example, you might want to start with the bearish outlook just to start with, right? So you can either short 100 shares, you can buy a put option, or you can buy a put spread. Those are the three most popular strategies that someone would trade if they have a bearish view here on ExxonMobil. But not only do we help you figure out the strategies, but we also help you select the expiration date and the strike price on these types of strategies so that even if you're brand new to options trading and you're just in the exploratory stage, you're not you're not set, you're not given a screen that looks like this, right? Because if you ever go to a brokerage firm and you want to trade options and you have a bearish view on ExxonMobil, the first thing they do is throw you onto a screen that looks like this. And a lot of times when you're looking at a screen like this, you don't have a chart next to it to be able to help you select, the right strike prices. Not to mention, it doesn't really help you understand, what the right expiration to choose, what strategy to choose, what strike price to choose. This is really useful for someone who has a lot of experience trading options and knows exactly what strategy they want, how to pick their strike prices, and they just use this to kind of help them price their strategies. So for example, as an experienced options trader, I would go out to the 45-day option. I look at selling an at the money call option here, which is around the 114s. And then I looked at selling, buying back the 25 delta put option, which is around the 120, right? So the 130, 120 is roughly what I would choose. But when you're using the options play tool, what it does is it automatically structures that for you. So because, I think that I'm selling premium here, as you can see, this is telling me to sell the 113, 119 call spread. And that's because things have moved a little bit since probably that options chain has been updated. So it's moved down by 113 to 119. So as you can see, this structures that automatically for you. So that what you can do is you can use the P&L simulator down here and actually simulate what happens if I were to short the stock, what happens if I was to buy the put option, what happens if I was to buy the put spread, and see how these strategies perform side by side. And it gives you your potential returns and your potential profits. So you can see, okay, if the stock goes down to, let's say, I'm going to pull up my chart here. Let's say it goes down to call it this 107 level, which is the prior support here, right? I think that's a reasonable target here to the downside. Well, I can plug in 107 as my target price, and I can see if I shorted the stock, I'm looking at about a 5% return. If I bought the put option, I'm looking at a 49% return. If I bought the put spread, I'm looking at about a 75% return. So this gives me a clear understanding as to if I execute specific strategies, what is my potential return if I'm correct? And more importantly, what is my potential risk if I'm incorrect? How much do I have to lose? I can lose $753 if I had shorted the stock. I can lose 535 if I bought the put, or I can lose 456 if I bought the put vertical here. And as you can see, the strategy here on the right-hand side gave me the better outcome, right? If I'm right, I made the higher return. If I'm wrong, I actually risk the least amount of capital to do so. And that's why the strategy here on the right gives me the best options play score. And if you remember when we were using the strategy center, one of the things that we help you rank every single trade by is the options play score. It tells you expected value of an options trade. Do you expect to have a positive expected value, no specific edge, or a negative expected value? So that's why it's color coded for you. As you can see, the ones in green have a positive expected value. The ones in yellow have a average expected value. And if you do see anything in red, that has a poor negative expected value. So this is all integrated into one to help you quickly find option strategies on a specific symbol. So if you want to do a deeper dive on a specific symbol, you want to structure different types of strategies, maybe you want to modify this, maybe you want to change the strike prices, maybe you want to change the expiration date, you can do so by the click of a mouse and go back to the P&L simulator, simulate how those strategies will perform in different outlooks that you have for the underlying stuff, and be able to quickly understand what is your risk, what's your reward, and know exactly what those are before you execute a trade. I cannot stress to you enough how important it is for traders to understand those things before they execute their trade, because one of the things that I see a lot of traders do, especially beginners, is that they jump into option strategies, not really understanding fully what the ramifications of a strategy, what the strategy is, and then well, they're kind of figuring things out as they go along. And a lot of times that's really where I find clients will come back to me and say, oh, I lost too much money on this trade, or I didn't, the trade went in my favor, but I still lost money because they didn't understand, the different scenarios of a strategy before they executed this trade. So this tool is designed to help you understand, no matter what scenario you have in your head, this will help you understand what your potential P&L is for a strategy so that you are prepared for that before you get into a trade. So you're not surprised by that, when you're placing a trade. A lot of times I see traders, what they'll do is they'll, buy a put option, the trade goes in their favor and they lose money on the trade. And they come back to me and they say, I can't, I bought a put option, the stock went lower, I still lost money, I don't understand. And this is really what the tool helps you figure those scenarios out before you execute your trade. And it's incredibly important for you to utilize these types of tools before you trade, especially if you're a beginner. And this gives you the opportunity to look at it alongside the chart so that important technical levels, important support and resistance levels that are typically used for your target price, or to help you understand where you might want to stop yourself out. These are the things that you are going to use in your P&L simulator to understand, okay, if the stock goes against me, at what point would I get out? And how much would I have to lose in this particular instance? Am I comfortable with that? And those are the things that you need to answer before you execute your trade. And now this is embedded not only in SharpCharts, but it is also embedded in ACP here as well. So, some of you like me who prefer to use SharpCharts, you can now access the options chain and the OptionsPlay widget in SharpCharts. But for those of you that prefer to use ACP, you could now do the same thing here in ACP as well. Here at the very lower left-hand corner of your ACP screen, you'll see an options screen and you'll get the same thing. You can pull up the full options chain, or you can pull up the OptionsPlay widget. So basically you have the exact same experience as you saw here before, where you can look at an ExxonMobil OptionsPlay widget alongside with the chart to be able to quickly identify those opportunities. And I'll pull up ExxonMobil here instead of Apple just to show you. And these screens will change alongside with your symbols. So for example, if you change your symbol here to let's say I do switch symbols here to Apple. Whatever you're viewing here in ACP, OptionsPlay will also automatically change symbols here so that you're always looking apples to apples with the same symbol, and you have the underlying chart as you're analyzing a strategy. Because, like I said, it's important for you to see the chart with the levels that are important to you, to understand what your target price is, where your stop losses might be put, so that you can evaluate those scenarios. If it reaches your target price, if you get stopped out, what is your risk to reward? Do those numbers make sense to you? Do the risk to reward kind of make sense to you before you execute those trades? Those are really important things that our tool can show you before you execute your trade, so that you have everything that you need to enter the trade into your broker's platform if you do decide this is the right strategy for you.
Yeah, Tony, thanks for highlighting all of this. There's two things that I want to make sure you guys are all thinking about. Two kind of cases where I think this just makes so much sense. Tony and I both talk to a lot of investors. We have for years, right? We've done speaking things, events, teaching, all of that kind of thing. And whenever options come up, especially for anyone who is kind of new to the markets, new to investing, new to options in particular, whenever options come up, the first thing that we always hear is, I'm so intrigued by trading options and how they can fit into my portfolio, how they can expand my strategy. But I'm scared. I don't know where to start. There's so much to look at. There's so much data. How do I learn how to get started with options? How do I learn about these different strategies that are available to me? If that is you, then this tool makes a ton of sense. It is lowering the bar for what it takes to get started with some of these option strategies. Makes it so clear. Again, like Tony said, right there next to the chart, you've got your charts, you've got your strategies right there next to it, and it makes it incredibly easy to see these things and get started with options. The other side, the other case that I want you guys to be thinking about, because maybe a lot of you fit into this one as well, is, hey, I've traded options a lot in the past. I know what I'm doing. I consider myself an advanced user, an advanced trader, investor. And I just kind of shied away from options because it's so much work structuring those trades, figuring out how to put everything on, going, poring over all of the data in the chains and things like that. If that is you, then this tool also makes sense, because again, it's lowering the bar for kind of what it takes to put some of these strategies to work in your own system, your own portfolio. It's making these things so much more clear. If you directionally know how you want to trade Apple or Exxon or any other name, this is going to present those strategies right there to you. So even if you are an experienced options trader, you've been doing this for a long time, but you've kind of shied away, maybe because there's just a lot of work there to structure those trades. This is again a time saver, a huge time saver that makes it so clear, what strategies you can put on for sort of whatever direction you want to play any name. Any thoughts there, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely. So, options, there are a lot of different option strategies, and within each option strategy, there's so many different parameters, so many different options within each specific strategy. So, I do want to throw one bonus out there. If you do choose to subscribe here to the OptionsPlay add-on, which we'll post a link here in just a couple of seconds as to how you can do that, I am going to be doing a special trading session at the beginning of January on specific option strategies. So if you choose to subscribe here within the month of December, you'll automatically be invited. It's a subscribers only event that we'll be doing here at the beginning of January, where I'll be focusing the attention on the strategies themselves. What are best practices for all of the strategies within the strategy center? Every single one, I'll cover each one of these. We'll do kind of a rapid fire across all of these strategies. What are best practices? Meaning, if you're selling cover calls, how far out should you typically want to go out? What type of risk profile should you consider for selling cover calls? And I'll go down the list and show you kind of based on nearly 20 years of trading experience of options, what my best practices are for each one of these strategies. And we're actually embedding them into the strategy center here as well. So as you select different strategies, we will actually select the appropriate time frame and risk profile for you based on my best practices as well. So this tool will actually automate what I'll be teaching you so that no matter what strategy you choose, you're automatically going to start off with the best practices for selecting, expiration date and strike price for each of those strategies. And I'll also quickly review during that session what are best practices for managing these trades. We've already gotten some feedback here over the last couple of months as some of you have subscribed, on questions, if you were to sell a credit spread, how do you manage those trades? If you sold a cover call, how do you manage those trades? So we'll be covering each one of these strategies, best practices in terms of entry as well as exits. So, just in terms of value on that one session alone, you're going to get nearly enough value to pay for, a full year's worth of subscription here for this tool embedded in just that one session alone. So we're really trying to provide you with as much trading capabilities as possible. And, honestly, so the Strategy Center is the one tool that I use every single day for my trading now because it gives me everything that I needed as a trader. We basically built this for ourselves and now we're sharing it with you. And, we've over the years, we've continued to improve, our capabilities on the trade scanning capabilities. We've continued to improve our ability to scan on the option side. And now we're at the stage where everything comes together in under 2 seconds, no matter what scan you choose, no matter what strategy you choose, no matter what time frame or risk profile you choose, no matter how much you are willing to risk. What we do here allows you to quickly identify the best strategies for you in under 2 seconds, and so that you can quickly identify where you might want to trade and option strategies on for the stocks that are, based on the technical screening capabilities that we have here at StockCharts.com. So really, really powerful tool. And the reason I use it every single day is because I don't want to spend 30 minutes doing the research for each trade that I trade. I want to be able to get down to brass tacks in under 2 seconds. And that's why this is the tool that I use every single day myself for my trading. And you'll see it in my blog. So, I post on this blog every single week. As you can see, I'll show you exactly how I found this tractor supply trade earlier this week. I was looking at bearish trend following, and you can follow my trades in this blog post. You can see for the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've been very bullish in the markets. I've started to turn a little bit more neutral here, which is why at the beginning of the week, I started looking at some bearish opportunities. So I looked at selling a bear call spread 45 days out. I like to be a little bit more aggressive. And I wanted to risk no more than $1,000. And these were the stocks that I looked at. And the first one that I really liked from a chart perspective was Tractor Supply. So I'm showing you the chart. I'm showing you kind of what that looks like, why I think it's about to roll over here. And then, the option strategy that the the tool showed me so that I can quickly identify a trade setup, know exactly what strategies that I'm going to be trading from an options perspective within just under a minute, rather than the few minutes, upwards of 30 minutes that it would take me to go through a whole list of technical scans to find these trade ideas. So just to kind of recap some of the things that we just discussed here today. The strategy center is at the center of what you might want to use here as part of this OptionsPlay add-on. It is the tool that I use every single day in my trading to find trading opportunities, regardless whether I'm bullish or bearish in the markets. This helps me quickly scan for those opportunities. And then depending on my views, I'm able to quickly figure out what my option strategies that I want to trade on that list of securities. And then, for those of you that want to do the deep dive into the specific strategies, the integration here with ACP, the integration with SharpCharts allows you to quickly look at the chart, look at the specific technical levels, and be able to structure an options trade. If you want to get more granular, if you want to modify the trades and see how different strategies perform side by side, the widget tool allows you to do that quickly. And the blog helps you understand kind of how I do it every single week, just as an example. And not only do you get, trade ideas, but I also present you with the macro view and kind of some of my top picks from a stock perspective. That's also included in the blog post as well on a weekly basis. So you get a lot of value here for this $40. And like I said, we're doing a special bonus here just for the month of December. If you do choose to subscribe, which we posted a link here into the chat window of this tool, which is going to be $40 a month. That's a subscription fee for this. With that $40 subscription, if you do choose to subscribe for the month of December, I will be hosting a session in early January just for subscribers on all of the option strategies, where I'll do a rundown of every strategy. What are the best practices for entry? What are the best practices for exit, so that you can get as much value as possible out of your subscription here at StockCharts.com.
Yeah, Tony, I think one of the most powerful things that you said actually is I built this tool for myself. There is really nothing more powerful than you as an expert, as a veteran options trader doing this for, almost 2 decades, building a tool that you want to use in your own process and then sharing it with the rest of us. That is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So the fact that you're, there through the blogs and through special events like this one, but also like that special event that we're going to be doing in January, showing people, not just what the buttons do, but how you're actually employing these tools in your own process as a trader, as someone who's really, boots on the ground doing this thing for themselves. That I think is the most powerful part of this whole package that we've kind of put together here with the OptionsPlay add-on. So thank you so much, for showing us all of this, for talking us through, how these tools work. I think that January event is just clearly going to be a very special one. Really diving into more of the strategy, the concepts, the approach with some of these different tools. So excited about that. As Tony mentioned, $40 a month add-on for your StockCharts subscription here, but something that can clearly pay for itself very, very quickly. So I think that fee is, just makes a ton of sense. There's so much value here across the platform, and I got to say, I love the way that it's kind of integrated throughout the StockCharts experience, right? It's not just one tool carved off in its own corner. The fact that this is kind of actually integrated throughout the platform, in SharpCharts, in ACP, in the options tools that we have as well outside, and accessible there from that charts and tools menu. I think that's another key thing that we pointed out there. So posted the link to the page where you can sign up. You can add this to your StockCharts account. This is on top of your existing StockCharts membership. So you got to be a StockCharts member to get this thing, but you can add this on top of your account for that monthly fee. Like I keep saying, such a huge time saver. I just think the value of this tool is so clear. So Tony, I want to thank you and the OptionsPlay team for sitting down with us today, going through all of this. Again, I think that January event is going to be absolutely, positively fantastic. Just can't stress it enough. So, the time to sign up for this thing is now. You'll get a couple of weeks of kind of playing around with it on your own before Tony does that deep dive into the tool and how he's using it, getting into more strategy and things like that. So And on top of that, definitely check out the articles. I think Tony's putting out some fantastic content, written content, video stuff that we're doing on StockCharts TV. To have Tony's insights for you there right on the platform, see his stuff in action through those videos. See the charts that he's sharing, the ideas that he's sharing there through the blog. Really, really a great resource. So look for that at the articles tab there at the top of any page. Tony does some fantastic stuff in that blog, quickly becoming one of my favorites, obviously on StockCharts. So definitely don't miss that Options Play blog. Tony, I want to pass it over to you one last time. Any final thoughts for the people before we hop off of this webinar?
I just want to say thank you so much, Grayson, for hosting this fantastic session. Thank you
Oh
so
yeah.
much, everyone, for joining this afternoon. I really hope that this is helpful in showing you some of the tools that we are continuing to improve upon here at StockCharts.com. This is just the beginning. We are kicking this off here with these tools. We have a lot more planned in terms of what we want to bring to you in the future. We want to be able to help you run these strategies centered not only on the scans that I have run or the ones that I have produced here, but also on your own chart list. More integrations, into the other screening capabilities that we have here at StockCharts.com. So a lot is planned in the future, and you're going to get that all for the $40 a month. So a lot of value that you're getting here. I hope that today we're able to show you some of that value, and I really look forward to having many of you join me on that January session, where I'm going to be going through all of these option strategies. A lot of you have been asking me for that, so I'm really excited to be able to kick that off here in January. And like I said, if you're a member, if you're a subscriber, even if you subscribed a month ago, you're going to be invited to that session here prior to this. If you subscribe prior to December, I saw that was one of the questions. So as long as you're a member, you'll have access to that special session here in January, where I'll go over all of the different option strategies. With
Yeah.
that, thank you so much. I hope you guys all have a great trading day, and we'll see you guys here in January.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a joy. Thank you, Options Play team, and everyone here at StockCharts. Thank you as well. So we'll see you for the next one. Take care, everybody.